Good.
Okay. Hey guys, what's up? Happy hump day. I am excited to see all your beautiful faces, and there's still people hopping on, but we're just going to dive right in because we're 3 minutes over on time. So I asked Eric to speak with you guys because we did something. Oh my God, look at his name on this screen. Really? Okay.
You can make your own name.
I'm going to put Lord Myron.
Lord Myron. Queen Myron.
Queen Myron. Okay. So I asked Eric to come on because we did a little experiment, I guess. 2 weeks ago, Eric decided he was just going to stop smoking cigarettes,
Vaping,
drinking booze, eating like garbage, and he was going to follow the business activity tracker. Eric has been off and on in Diamond for the last 5 years because of me building him. He's my U+2. And fortunately for Eric, and this is why you should sign your spouse up, he makes a full-time income just from sitting as a diamond in his position in my downline because of fancy positioning, which you'll learn to do when you're there. We're not there yet. So, but we are where we basically we are where you guys are at now. Eric is where you guys are at now, okay? 2 weeks ago, he started doing the business activity tracker. Today, he should be, or tomorrow, he'll be at Success Club 6. He's at 4. And he is signing 3 coaches up in the next couple of days. And these are all people I've got sat in on like a 3-way chat with. 2 of them I sat in on a 3-way chat with. And so we know. And then he did one all by himself. How did he find them? The business activity tracker. And it worked. He did it consistently for 2 weeks, and he's going to hit Success Club. And guys, it's not like he 10x'd his efforts. He is home with the kids with me. When they're home after 4 o'clock, we've got a 20-month-old toddler who is running around like a crazy person. So we're constantly in survival mode, but he manages to get the list done. So I'm going to have Eric pop on and talk about his experience with being consistent. He's doing a program from start to finish. He's doing Transform 20, and he's drinking Shakeology every day. And it's just, for me, it gives me hope for your husbands too one day, right? Like, it took Eric 5 freaking years to do this, but he did it. And so we're just going to work on keeping that momentum going and just keeping the consistency going because he believes in it now because he's seen it work. So Eric, take it away.
So this isn't actually exactly the first time I've ever tried to work the business, but the last couple of times that I tried to do it, I would equate to going to the gym and just working on your show muscles, just all buys and pecs. I would post that I was drinking Shakeology, and I would post some workout videos, and I would do all like the kind of the social media show stuff, just post and everything, but I wasn't actively engaging anybody. I wasn't following up with anybody. I wasn't trying to grow my social media, not so much aggressively, but tactically, actually doing the core fundamentals of it. I wasn't recognizing anybody in our team. I wasn't doing any of the what should be the base level things to get people to understand that you're taking this seriously. So then Anita hit me with this.
Hold on, can I just say real quick? Sorry, babe. Something that he did do, though, is he signed up for like growers a while ago, and his page just kept growing. He didn't do much on there, but he signed up for like growers a few years ago.
When it was actually, no. It was right before we went to Maine.
And now he has 4,000 followers?
6,600. And I think when I started, I had 4,000. I would say in the last 6 to 8 months, it has grown my followers by 2,000 followers. What it does is you just put in a couple of hashtags, and I found a website called all-hashtags.com, which you go in and you can type in motivation, and then it'll give you the top 30 motivation related hashtags, or you can put in home workouts or anything, mompreneur, entrepreneur. You want to be a little bit creative because those are the things that a lot of people are using, but it'll help you give some diversity to your hashtags. And then it will just go through those hashtags and it will like some random post from one of those hashtags 55 times an hour. So almost once a minute. And it's for 250,000 likes is about $50. And there's smaller ones that you can do too. If you're just running one page, that will take months to go through. So and it's constantly going on in the background. I immediately noticed when I would sign back on, I would have 8 new followers. And I was just like it was really kind of quick. Yeah. Like followers. Like followers is good too. Like growers. So same kind of thing.
And it's not just for likes. I will give you a success story that happened yesterday. I was sleeping and I woke up to a message saying, hey, I just saw that you followed me and you liked my page or liked my post. I'm actually an ex-Beachbody coach looking to get started again. And I really love your vibe. How can I sign up?
Yeah.
It worked for me. And that's one of the biggest perks.
Mm-hmm. But I'm looking over there, I have 3 people in my streak follow-up, and 1 person has their sign-up link sent to, and I have 2 people that need a link sent to. We're busy this morning with pink eye and running the kids around. And I'm looking at those, most of those people are people that I reached out to. The biggest one, this is this week's, and the one last week was not as colored in. And the number one thing that was not colored in was invite at least 5 people to join a challenge group or learn about the coaching opportunity. I recognize that was the one thing I hated doing. So that was the first thing I did when I got up in the morning. And I actually think that was smart, not waiting till the evening to do it. I do it in the morning because then it's in their inbox in the morning and they have all day to see it. It's not, first thing isn't sitting in their inbox overnight and I'm waiting for them to get back to me, because you don't know if they are somebody who checks Instagram right when they wake up. You don't know if it's somebody who does it at lunch, at work, and that's when they're going to be inspired to get back to you. At night is when people are tired and you don't know. They might be like, I'll get back to this person in the morning, and then they forget. So I've seen more growth once I started doing that first thing in the morning and doing it every day. So just get that one done, and then following up. It really works.
How you are inviting. What exactly are you doing?
Luckily enough, I already have a good kind of base of followers, having 6,000 followers, and having on my Insta story, I have about 750 people watching my story every day. So I'll go to the earliest one, which will have the most. I'll load it up. I'll just swipe up really fast and I'll watch a bunch of names, because the ones that are at the top tend to be the people that you've already talked to. I get down to the bottom. I find, just a random person, click on it, make sure that they're not a coach, send them a message, and I have it already copy pasted. I have all of my little scripts either saved in as a shortcut or in my Evernote. So I copy paste it before I start doing this, and fill in, hey, put their name. I always try to put their name whenever I can, and then paste, send, do the next one. I can get 25 follow-ups in about 10 minutes, no problem. And what's nice is when I'm doing that, every once in a while I run into somebody who I've already messaged. So now I just knocked off a follow-up. I'll hit him again like, hey, I came across you again, still wanted to reach out, make sure you didn't miss my last message.
Something I wanted to touch on with that, I am guilty of thinking that inviting is not working, because I'll invite 30, 40 people and be like, no one's signing up. What's going on? And so when I do invite a bunch of people every day, when I actually sit down to do it, what the common response that comes back to me is, I was too nervous to reach out to you. I wanted to do this in the back of my mind, but I wasn't sure I was ready. But now that you've reached out to me, I feel like I might consider it. And 9 times out of 10, when you invite, it's the follow-up and then the follow-up after that that's what secures the deal. So don't get discouraged sending out 40 invites in a week and being like, nobody signed up, because it's usually the follow-up and then another follow-up and then them coming back and seeing you post consistently on social media. So
also, every once in a while, I try not to hit up the same people on my stories. So I go back to a post anytime in the last week that did pretty well. I'll just go into the people who liked it, and I'll see if any of them are people I've never messaged to before. I try to message people who have at least watched or interacted with me at some point. I think when I started, I was like, oh, am I just supposed to like find a hashtag that is similar and just find absolutely random people and reach out to them? Most of the time that doesn't work. The best way to get them is 531. You want to get them to follow you back and then start watching you. And then after they've watched you, that's when you get to message them. So then you're getting people who are interested in your lifestyle. You're not just sitting there spamming random people and just filling out your 10, 15, 20 people of not quality contacts. I message them, they ghost me. Yeah. If they're continuing to watch, then you're continuing to etch away at them. It's a consistency over time thing. One of the first people that messaged me once she noticed that I was really taking this more seriously, I looked at her post history and she's commented random stuff on my Insta stories for the last couple of years. I met her in 2006. She was the girlfriend of one of my fraternity brothers. And I haven't talked to her since, but I know she's always followed me on Facebook, continued us over to Instagram, and still hasn't contacted me or Anita this entire time until finally her life came to a point where she needed to make a healthy change and she reached out. So it's sometimes it's just, keep messaging them, 1 or 2 follow-ups, not close together, but if they're still watching you, they're still interested. That's where that breaks down. What else do you want me to talk about, Boo?
Can you talk about the geotagging and hashtagging and how important it is to do 531 with your local community? That's an automatic connection. Oh, you live in Grand Rapids?
That was one of the guys that I'm going to sign up. He found me because I had geotagged my post for either Grand Rapids or Georgetown Township. I try to do Grand Rapids just because there's more people. So every post that I do, try to geotag either Grand Rapids or Michigan in general. You can even hashtag Grand Rapids, so you can tag different things. That will increase the amount of people that Instagram thinks you should be showing to your local people. And that's exactly how he found me. It turns out sometimes we work out at the same gym. I've never ran into him. He lives right, the next township over. We've never met or ran into each other, but he found me because it put onto his explore page my post because I had geotagged Grand Rapids. So hey, he's local. Let's show it to him. So and I want to make I'm going to make an in-depth how to maximize your engagement on Instagram. But a big one is using all of the hashtags that you can. If you post on Instagram and you don't put any hashtags and then you go look at your insights, Instagram is hey, you forgot hashtags. Do you want to add some? It straight up tells you this is how we introduce you to people. So you should have a preset batch of fitness hashtags, lifestyle hashtags, family hashtags, and then just a random hashtag or something, or a business hashtag. So whatever your post is, if it's a fitness post, you can just type in, have a text replacement, #F, boom, there's all your fitness ones. My hash M is for family because that's #Myron's, boom. So it'll post that up. So I don't even have to think about it. Maybe I'll fill in some extra ones that are really about that post in the beginning, but then I've got 7 or 8 just kind of lined up. If anybody else is in the picture with me, tag them. That's how it shows that you are a a influencer and somebody that is actually friends with people on Instagram, has other people in the picture. It's true. And so Instagram's like, hey, they're kind of like they have their own little community. So let's introduce more people to their community. That's all things that kind of increase your post. If you're wearing Nike clothes, you can tap on it. You can tag Nike the brand, Lulu Row, Lululemon, Lulu Lemon Meringue Pie. There's a lot of Lulus. Adidas, you can type, like, you can do Target, Meyer. I tagged one Meyer the other day just because screw it. I could throw it in there and it might get me more engagement. So that's how you.
Please don't hashtag Walmart. Just saying. Or Target.
Some of my best clothes are from Walmart. Okay, it's good deals. All the Lulus. Hashtag all the Lulus. There you go. There's another hashtag. And sometimes it's fun because when you load up a hashtag, it'll show you how many people have actually done that hashtag before. I've put in some crazy ones and just been like, oh my gosh, there's already 50,000 other people who hashtag that. And that can bring you down a hashtag rabbit hole. Now you have a whole new group of hashtags. Yeah. Because there's different things that people use. So for a while I was hashtagging dad bod. Then I found out that has a whole gay community thing with it. So I did not need to be hashtagging dad bod to try to get fitness people. So that was do some investigation on your hashtags.
Yes. So we actually do not know how to get more viewers on the Insta stories. I know, Leslie, I think you asked that. Does anybody here know how to do that can chime in and share?
I've just done a couple things that have helped pop my viewership, but typically just like on a particular story. And it's from hashtagging the story or geotagging the story with like a location. So Monday night I did one because I was laying in bed and I was going to watch The Bachelor. And so I took a photo and I hashtagged it like Bachelor Nation, The Bachelor ABC or whatever. And that story had like 500 more views than all of my other stories just because it was Monday night and I was like in the rotation. I've also heard like if you put your hashtags in your stories but you swipe them off your screen, you won't necessarily get placement in that hashtag on Instagram. So someone said like pick, one or two and make them a little bit bigger on your screen and you'll start showing up in those hashtag stories. And then like I geotag different locations, like bigger locations. I only think it works for, and have gotten more views that way, but I don't know that they're like consistent people. You know what I mean? Like, I think they just see, like, I think it'd have to be like a really great photo or like a really funny story. So someone like saw it, watched it and was like, oh my God, I have to go like check out this person.
So I lately have been watching more of other people's stories. And so like when I 5, 3, 2, 1 them, what I'm messaging about is often somebody has a story. So I'm messaging, like commenting on their story. And I've noticed my views is like gone up and like stayed up. Like it's not like 1,000 people, but it's doubled and it's like stayed there. Like now I'm seeing like, so I think watching other people's stories, I don't know if Instagram like rewards you and goes, oh, you're participating, so we're gonna share your stuff too. But I'm just noticing, and they are like those consistent people, not just like weirdos, but like real people that are commenting or whatever.
I get random people commenting on my Insta stories, and I would say I'm more likely to go click on them and view their profile to be like, who are you? Like, how do we maybe know each other than any other way? So just clicking on somebody's and just like you click on it, you can just send in a little laughing emoji. They might just be like, wait, do I know this person? They'll click in your stories, and that might be all you need to get one new follower. So that's actually a really smart way to do it. Just random stories.
When you do your post on Instagram, also, it needs to be, the actual post itself has to involve some sort of engagement. So it needs to be captivating. You need to ask questions. You need to say something profound, because when people comment on your posts, your Insta stories circle will show up in their feed because they had just talked to you.
Mm-hmm.
So anytime I comment on someone's thing, their feed, their little bubble comes up on my feed. Or if you tell somebody, point them to your stories in a post.
And yeah, use polls and questions. Yeah,
I've
and
also
no, it doesn't always have to be like strategic, like with workouts and trying to get people to engage with you on the business. It could just be random, stupid questions, because people are going to like that. People are going to want to interact with you more than just thinking you're going to message them about the opportunity. So.
And everyone, if you haven't watched Emily Faber's video that Leslie posted in the units on our team page, please do, because she talks about polls, what kind of questions to ask. I've done a few of those calls to action this week, and I've signed up customers from it. So it does work.
I've also noticed that, and I'm trying to think if we discussed this last week, it might have been on the Diamond call, but when I'm more consistent with my Instagram stories, because I'm a morning workout person, that's when I make my energize, get my workout in, like work my business. I tend to post less in the evening about dinner, family time. I don't do that much. But I notice when I'm consistent with Instagram stories all day, even if it's like sharing photos that I took earlier in the day, in the evening, or into nighttime, my viewership goes up, because every time I'm loading up a new story, it's popping me back to the front of the feed with the people that I'm engaging with the most. So that's another thing, is to like have your stories like span the day.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. Because the one thing that I saw with the BAT is, they kind of say it's like about 3 minutes per post on the updating your IG story throughout the day. It really is important. Like, it's just the story of your day. It should be periodically tipped in throughout the day. You don't want to try to just cram everything into a little while, which can be tough, especially if you have a lot of stuff that you have going on during the day. But yeah, that makes a huge difference in getting people to pop up. Every time I need to post something, it pops up first in my feed. And every time I post something, it doesn't even show up on hers. And that's why she doesn't watch me.
That's why.
That's why. The other thing that was a big game changer for me, actually, is I blocked out my entire day. So I went on to Google Calendar, because I wanted to figure out, because some days I was like, I felt like I had no time to work, and I wanted to figure out exactly how much time I had that I could dedicate to work around the different things. Because right now we have to take more into daycare. With this weather, it's taking me a half hour there and a half hour back. So I got 2 hours of driving just to get some alone time so I can work. So I wanted to really block it out, figure out when I should be eating, when I should be working out. And with all of this, like, now I can actually see, like, oh shit, if I like spend too much time and do stuff when I get home, that just took out, a good 45 minutes of time that I really only had to work. I didn't have enough time, because the other things are pretty immovable for me, even though I'm home all day. So that was a big eye opener, making sure that you're tracking your time and working intentionally. If it's work time, let it be work time. If it's home time, let it be home time.
This is Rise Up, and it's made by a top Beachbody coach, and it has journaling, goal setting, blocking, tracking, all in one book.
Yep.
So Moira Kusama made it, but I'm using it and blocking out my day, and I have my business activity tracker in here. So like everything for my day is here. It's called Rise Up, and it's on Amazon, and I suggest you get one because it's awesome.
Yeah.
Another thing I wanted to add, guys, and this doesn't have anything to do with Instagram, but get your upline sponsor or Star Diamond sponsor involved in three-way calls. Ask them, use your upline as a resource, because you don't have that epic success story yet. But somewhere in your upline, there is a success story, and they it would be to their benefit to be on this call with you. I've never really done these three-way calls until recently, and they've made a big difference. Just yesterday, that guy that reached out to Eric, he had a lot of questions and he wanted to hear success stories. Eric isn't quite there yet with all of those questions to be able to explain volume and to be able to explain how we earn an income and things like that. So reach out to whoever is above you in your upline that has had success and see, would you be willing to pop in on a three-way Zoom or a chat with my prospect? They have questions I'm not sure how to answer yet. So I wanted to explain that. That's been really helpful.
And it helps show your prospect that this is a team thing. Right from the start. This is not something where you're going to be expected to just start recruiting and start doing everything on your own. This is what they're coming into as a team. Yeah.
All right. Any other questions? We nailed it. Exactly 30 minutes. Yay. So yeah, biggest takeaway from this call for me, do your business activity tracker. And if you still have time, 10x some things. Inviting, adding to your network. And if you can afford it, do a third party Instagram growing tool, just to give you a little bit of a boost. 531 is my main way. I sit in front of the TV and do it, and I love it because I can get some really good quality conversations with local people. But you want something working for you around the clock, right? Why not budget that a little bit if you can?
I was trying to look at what Light Grower starts at. I think it starts out at like 10 or 20 bucks. And that will seriously probably get you a month or two.
Yeah. And I use IG Wildfire. It's a little more expensive. It's either $50 a month or $100 a month. And they guarantee a certain amount of followers.
All right. $10 for 25,000 likes. Yep. 35. Yeah. You can see putting a little bit extra in there is a lot more likes for the money.
Light growers. I don't even know if I'm still using that.
You are not, because you are using your own thing. So our other two pages are.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Well, thank you guys. Everyone off to implement. Go fill out your bat.
All right, guys.